My friends, how are you? It's absolutely fantastic to see you for yet another video. But the topic of this video is going to be very disturbing as I go through it, because we are talking about, of course, Donald Trump's relation to the Epstein files and all the new information that is coming out about him being involved in that. But by the time we get to the end of this video, we are going to come to the realization that we live in a society right now where this video even has to be recorded. And that is a truly tragic thing. And trust me, you'll understand what I mean by the time we get to the end of this with everything that is going on, as MAGA is exposing exactly who they are to the American people and why we need to stay the fuck away from them, as they are continuing to expose exactly what kind of perverts they are. And this is really, really sickening, disturbing stuff that we are going to go over today. And there's a good chance the video gets demonetized, so consider a channel membership. Those are only $1.99 a month. Help support the channel. And we have got to talk about what is going on. So we understand that there is a lot of information coming out having to do with Donald Trump's relationship to Jeffrey Epstein, in which the Congress had subpoenaed Jeffrey Epstein's estate, and we saw something like 20,000 emails come out that exposed that Donald Trump was very, very close to everything that was going on. And it's only a matter of time now before we find out exactly how Donald Trump was involved with potentially underage girls. That is 100% a thing that is coming, and we can tell that is coming by Donald Trump's extreme overreaction to what is going on. Let's think about the shit that Donald Trump himself is doing right now, as he has called in Lauren Boebert to the Situation Room of all places in this fucking country to try to convince her to take her name off of the discharge petition for the Epstein files. That happened just a couple days ago, where she was brought into the Situation Room with, my understanding was, like Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and potentially some other people, where basically they tried to intimidate her to get her name off of there. And look, I'm not a Lauren Boebert fan. I do not agree with a lot of things she does or says, but in this particular instance, she did hold her ground, okay? And then we've got other people like Marjorie Taylor Greene that's holding her ground on this, and one that I don't even want to mention because she's truly a very despicable person, Nancy Mace, who also held her ground on this. So we are expecting to see a vote now to release the Epstein files in the House, but I'm not sure how that's all going to play out. My understanding is, I looked at it just briefly before I started recording this video, apparently Mike Johnson sent the House on another week-long vacation. Am I reading that right? Am I understanding what's going on here? So we were supposed to see the vote in about a week. It's got to be like 7 days for the House to be in session before they can vote or some shit like that. And it sounds like he just delayed that for another week. And one day, my friends, Mike Johnson is going to face his day in court and deal with the consequences of his actions as he continues to find new and very creative ways to cover for Donald Trump. And that's one of the most baffling fucking things, my friends, as we see these somewhat young people like Mike Johnson and Pam Bondi and Caroline Levitt, you know, these younger people that still have a lot of life ahead of them, basically throwing away their future in support of Donald Trump, who's like a 90-year-old morbidly obese fat son of a bitch, which that was redundant, but you get the fucking point. They're all going to face the consequences for what's happening one day, and they're going to have to deal with it. But I guess my understanding is that's going to get delayed now by at least another week, while Mike Johnson runs into hiding yet again. But we know all that. We know Donald Trump is heavily involved in all of this. That Donald Trump has never been able to hide what a disgusting person he is, and that part of that was the appeal to the MAGA base. We have to be honest with what's going on, and that's where we're going to really get into the bullshit of what is happening out there right now, as the MAGA movement is running cover for Donald Trump and quite frankly exposing who the fuck they are. Now, we have known for a while that the MAGA movement is a bunch of weird sons of bitches that have spent much of their time obsessing, I was going to say overly obsessing, but obsessing in general about other people's genitals, right? They have been talking about that for fucking years. It's fucking weird. And I'm gonna let level with you. The transgender people are not the weird ones in this situation. It's the fucking hillbillies running around the country demanding to know what everybody else has in their pants. Let me see your balls, motherfucker. It's fucking weird. It's strange fucking behavior. This is the same party that wanted genital inspectors in elementary schools because they were just making sure people went to the right bathroom. But as we go through this video, no, we're gonna find out it's because they're fucking perverts and it had nothing to do with who was using the bathroom. Oh, by the way, stop inspecting children's genitals. Why is this a weird thing to say in this fucking country? But anyways, the first thing I want to start with is this fucking Megyn Kelly. Did you guys see this shit? We are gonna get off into bizarro world right now, my friends, as we watch as the MAGA movement just completely changes definitions of words right in front of us to try to normalize what is going on. And I imagine most of you have seen what Megyn Kelly had to say, but we're going to go over it real quick anyways, as Megyn Kelly is a right-wing media dork that was on her little news show talking about how she has a friend that has very intimate knowledge of the Jeffrey Epstein case, knew everything that was going on in and out of that, which doesn't fucking surprise me. It's a whole party full of fucking perverts. Of course Megyn Kelly has a friend that was very close to it. A lot of times when people say things that they don't want to admit to knowing, they always have a friend that knows about it, right? So I would say maybe it's even Megyn Kelly that knows about what is going on and is just saying she has a friend. But she talked about Jeffrey Epstein, right? And she said Jeffrey Epstein liked girls that were barely legal. All right, well, I mean, where are we going with this, Megyn Kelly? What exactly are we talking about? Because we all know what the term barely legal means. It's like you're 18, maybe 19-year-old girl, all right? That's what that fucking means, all right? You guys can think about however you want about all that. That's not my business. Consenting adults doing consenting adult things isn't my fucking business. But what is my business is what she said next. What is everybody's business is what she fucking said next. When she said that she referred to barely legal girls, and then she said these were girls that were like 15 that could pass for 18. Wait a minute, Megyn Kelly, what the fuck did you just say? You just completely altered a definition that everybody knew. You altered a term that everybody knew the definition of to fucking begin with, all right? And then you went and told us that barely legal now suddenly means 15-year-old girl that looks like they could pass for 18. But then she said yet another interesting thing after that. They also could pass for younger than that though too. And those are the girls that Jeffrey Epstein liked. It's not like they were 8-year-olds. That's what she said. That's what Megyn Kelly said. It's not like these girls were 18-year-olds. We've got a woman now on the news running cover for a fucking pedophile ring by saying at least they weren't 8 years old. Does this strike anybody else as fucking odd? What they are doing right now is completely trying to normalize this thing where they target underage girls and do whatever they do with them, and then they want to make it so it's completely normalized in society. I would not be surprised. I've actually heard some rumblings of it, but of states trying to lower the age of consent. I have not looked into that, but I have heard that that is a thing that's going on out there. They are actually trying to normalize the entire thing and even leaning towards changing laws to go with this. And my friends, we understand that like the Incel neckbeard community runs very deep in the fucking MAGA movement. We understand that. This is some Incel bullshit that is going on right now, and they're doing it right in front of our fucking eyes, all right? They are telling us that, that now, help me, someone help me. Now, all of a sudden, the term barely legal means 15-year-old girl that could pass for 18 but could also pass for younger. And she said it with a fucking straight face and tried to convince the American people that this is absolutely normal fucking behavior. This is the level we have reached in this country right now, my friends, that you cannot have these fucking people around your children. All right, I'm not going to. Are you shitting me? They listen to Megyn Kelly. They're followers of Donald Trump, and they were just told that this is normal now. As a father to daughters, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Stay the fuck away from me. Get the fuck, do not knock on my door. Do not ask if you can see us for Christmas. I don't know what to fucking tell you. You people that are just going along with this are sick motherfuckers. This is where we're at in America though right now. All right, my friends. And I want to talk about another thing quickly also, because we need to understand that this is something they are trying to make normal. They are trying to make all of us accept it so that Donald Trump can get away with the crimes he committed, and so that all these pervert Republicans, how many times do we have to hear about another Republican getting in trouble for doing something with children? It is nearly a weekly basis in this country, sometimes multiple per week. We have to hear about it. And instead of like getting the therapy they need, or going to prison like they need, or doing something to control these wild fucking impulses that they have decided to make it normal in our country. And they have decided that the rest of us just need to accept it as normal as they continue to do whatever they do. I was listening to one of those younger podcasters, and I don't remember his name. It was not the Get a Job Parker guy, but it was someone similar to him, I believe, where they do these call-in shows where they debate with MAGA, which is always fun because they are always embarrassing these fucking MAGA dorks and causing them to throw complete fucking temper tantrums about the shit that they are saying. And it's highly entertaining content. I don't watch a lot of it because they're very long, but I when I do watch it, it's very entertaining shit, infuriating at the same time. But a MAGA dork called in to one of these shows, and he asked the host of the show, "What's wrong with liking underage girls?" And the host was fucking dumbfounded by that question. He had his hand on his head. What did you just ask me? And he didn't know how to respond because he was caught off guard by the entire thing. And this smug fucking MAGA prick sat there on the other end of the phone and said, "You're telling me I can't do it, but you can't even tell me what's wrong with it? You can't even point to one situation where there may be something wrong with this, and you're expecting me to just listen to what you have to say? I ask you again, what is wrong with it?" And I don't remember the outcome of that video because, quite frankly, I didn't finish fucking watching it. I was like, I just straight up do not fucking have time for this. But what we need to understand right now, my friends, is Donald Trump has always appealed to what am I trying to say? Like the sickest side of people, right? When we look at Donald Trump, we can go back to his very first speech that he announced that he was going to run for president somewhat 10, 12 fucking years ago, however long ago it's been. His very first speech was to demonize the Mexican people, saying that Mexico is not sending their best and their brightest, they're sending their murderers, their rapists, their drug dealers. Immediately, Donald Trump appealed to the millions and millions of Americans that wanted to take their anger out on the Mexican population, right? And we need to understand why that's important right now. Do we all understand why that's important right now? Donald Trump himself is trying to normalize pedophilia. The people around Donald Trump, including Megyn Kelly, are trying to normalize this entire thing. And since we know that Donald Trump appeals to the fucking dark side of so many Americans out there, their innermost disgusting fucking desires, we need to understand that there are millions of people right now just out there in America waiting for the fucking green light on this. And Megyn Kelly was one of the people that started to slowly change that to a green light so they know how they have to go ahead and do whatever they want. Because Megyn Kelly describes somebody that's barely legal as somebody that is 15 that could pass for 18, but could also pass for someone younger. Do we understand what we're up against right now? How fucking terrifying this is to all of us out there that have children, even to the people of us out there that do not have children. You need to understand that right now they are openly saying that they are sexual predators and they are coming after your children. They just fucking said it. And you can't stand there and convince me that they did not say it. We watched as this whole fucking thing happened. I don't know what the fuck to say to all this. This is, quite frankly, the most fucking disturbing thing that I have ever seen in my fucking life as they try to normalize this behavior. My friends, to the point that they're calling up talk shows and asking, can you at least tell me what's wrong with this? I mean, can you at least give me an example? Like this is some sort of, I don't even know how to explain this. Like the guy came at it like it was some sort of normal debate. I don't even know what to equate it to. It's fucking crazy, you know? But he made it sound like a completely normal thing. And if you can't tell him why it's wrong, then do you really have a point to begin with? Do you really have a leg to stand on if you can't tell this man why it's fucking wrong? And my friends, they are going to do everything in their power right now to try to make this normal, because Donald Trump is going to lose this fucking battle 100%, as up to 100 Republicans in the House are predicted to make their vote to release the fucking Epstein files. We are going to see the complete media spin right in front of us. Give it a week and Jesse Waters is going to be explaining to the American people why this is normal. Give it a week and Lindsey Graham is going to be on the news explaining to the American people why this is normal. This is what the fuck they're doing to our country right now. And like I said at the beginning of the video, we live in a country now where this video even had to be made. Can you fucking believe it? So what I would encourage you to do, my friends, is the very same thing I encouraged you to do a year ago, almost a year ago, when I started this fucking channel. When I talked about, should you distance yourself from your MAGA family members and your MAGA friends? More so now than ever, that is extremely important. They are trying to make this completely normal. They are trying to say that this is okay, and your family members that are under the age of 18 at this very moment in time are not safe. And if I'm wrong, then why did Megyn Kelly get on the news and say that all of this is okay? And say that at least they're not 8-year-olds? And why does Megyn Kelly still have a job today if I'm wrong about what I'm saying? I'm not wrong. They are going to, in service of Donald Trump, they are going to make every bit of this fucking normal right in front of our eyes, my friends. And it is up to us to stand up for the people in our lives that are still children and make sure that they are protected in this country from this pedophile ring that has taken over the American Republican Party. This is some sick shit that we are dealing with. Anyways, with that said, I got to get back to work. Love you guys. Bye now.